No toilet paper available for employees.
There's
What?
gaps.
Oh my God. Oh. So in today's crazy video today, one restaurant has 70 health code violations. 70. Do you know how disgusting your restaurant has to be to have that many violations? And people are eating there. Ugh. So this makes me feel great because whenever I go into restaurants, people think I'm crazy. Because instead of just looking at the beautiful pictures on the screen, looking at the menu, my stomach's rumbling just like every other normal person, I'm looking at the workers. I'm looking at the health inspection grade. I am looking at the establishment just to get some type of confirmation that these people at least care about how clean the pots and pans they are using to prepare the food that I'm going to put in my body. I don't want to roll the dice and risk my health insurance because I decided to eat brunch with scrambled eggs just to find out that roach eggs entered the chat. But we're going to check out this video. I just want to warn you guys before we get started, if you are hungry, if you are eating right now or about to eat, please don't watch this. It's going to ruin it for you guys. It already did it for me, just the thought of it. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Well, tonight, more violations inside one restaurant than we have seen in years. And this happened last week during a routine unannounced food safety inspection. And when an inspector found a whopping 70 violations, incredible.
Oh, and during a follow-up inspection, things didn't really improve. Local 10 investigator Jeff Weinstein has tonight's Dirty Dining report.
Sir, can we talk to somebody about the inspection last week? 70 violations? The most I've seen in years.
You heard it right. In
You don't
West
care.
Kendall, on North Kendall Drive in the Kendall Park Plaza at 16229 Southwest 88th Street is Peking 1.
How does
Dang, they put their whole address out there. Shout out to the news. You doing God's work.
one place accumulate 70 violations? That's just unacceptable. And
And looking at the floor really quick, guys, I used to work in the kitchen. So I noticed all this stuff as soon as I look back there or whatever. The floor still looks pretty greasy. It still looks pretty greasy. And you cannot convince me that when you walk through that floor, you don't hear a couple of crunches. You don't feel a little bit of slipperiness. And this is the easiest thing you can clean in the kitchen. So if the floor is looking like this even after the violations, and it's the easiest thing to do, I don't think everything is gone. I don't think everything is taken care of in this restaurant. That's just me.
negligent.
It happened here last week during a routine unannounced food safety inspection inside this kitchen while they were opened and serving you.
You want to get video of us? That's fine. I think you owe customers an explanation as to why you had 70 violations.
does owe them.
Irresponsible.
Among the violations, over 60 rodent droppings inside
Oh.
a walk-in cooler, behind the water heater, in a back dry storage area. The inspector noted 30 roach droppings right on top of a plastic container.
Oh,
An
my
employee
God.
working at the cook line had a persistent cough while preparing food and then touched clean utensils. Food was not properly separated. Chicken, eggs out of temperature. Prescription medicine being stored above a food prep table. The
What?
bathrooms were in complete disrepair. Dirty, not functioning, giving off a strong, objectionable odor.
The violation is already removed. Everything is fixed already.
I know everything's fixed, but why were there 70 violations, sir? You have no explanation? 70 violations? You must not be doing your job.
There's more heavy grease and grime covering the floors, the walls, cooking equipment. There were dirty food containers on shelving. There was no soap, no toilet paper available for employees.
There's
What?
gaps.
Oh my God. Yo, this is disgusting. This place tried to start an entire pandemic in their restaurant. Everything they named, from the improperly stored salmon to the chicken, which could get people sick, salmonella poisoning, all kinds of stuff, to the bathroom of the employees not having toilet paper or soap. In that case, it is safe to assume that if these employees were doing, just to be juvenile, number 2 during their work hours, it's safe to assume that they did not wash their hands or wiped and then turned around and returned to preparing the food that other people put in their mouth. It is also safe to assume that some of them ate a couple of roach eggs, ate a couple of rat droppings. Because to have 60 in there on the containers, you can't tell me that some of that didn't get in the food. You can't tell me that, bro. That is, oh my God, bro. And even though the guy said to the reporter that those violations have been removed, X, Y, and Z, I don't trust it. Again, the floor is still looking nasty. So they're probably just making it look pretty to get rid of the violations, and they're going to return back to what they were doing before. I guarantee you, because that's all habitual. That's not something that they're like, oh, I didn't realize the restaurant was supposed to be this clean. No, those are all habitual negligence, if that's even a word. If it isn't, I made it up. I mean, the combination of word, whatever. But you know what I'm trying to say, okay? This is nasty. I don't know. And then as you can see here, the door has a big hole at the bottom of it, which is probably where like stray animals and rats and rodents and all kind of stuff enter in. And if it's still like that right now, those rat droppings are going to return.
Under the door, so where do you think the rodents are getting in? Unacceptable, sir.
Not only did they shut the back door, they locked the place up, turned off the lights, and hid in the kitchen. For our health and safety, hopefully
Look at that.
They get the message now.
Personally, if I'm at a restaurant and I cannot see the kitchen, more than likely I'm not going to eat there. I'm not, because what are you hiding? You know, like I gotta see who's working back there. I gotta see if they got gloves on. I gotta see, and I know it's saying very anal, no pun intended. But if there's some restaurants like this that don't have toilet paper and soap for their employees, imagine them going to prepare your food with their hands, transferring that fecal matter into the food that you're consuming. Then you're going to get sick and don't even know where it came from, and possibly get something that can spread out to people in your household, at work, all kind of stuff. We just heard the news about the hantavirus, and that is reportedly coming from rat and mouse droppings. So I can't take the risk, man. That's just me. I can't.
Our next stop was closed for Passover, but you still need to know why they were ordered shut last week. Their claim, kosher Italian food done right. We're in Surfside at La Vita è Bella. It means life is beautiful, but there was nothing beautiful about last week's inspection here. The address 9485 Harding Avenue. The inspector showing up here after a consumer complaint. Among the 7 violations, live and dead roaches, crawling in a restroom, under a coffee machine, even in a hand washing sink. The inspector also noted salmon thawing improperly in standing water. There was no manager on duty. The next day, during a reinspection, there were more live roaches. That's not kosher. All the places we just mentioned allowed to reopen following an ordered cleanup and then a reinspection. Jeff Weinseer, Local 10 News.
Bro, I can't, man. I don't know about the people who live in these areas. I personally couldn't ever return to these restaurants. And I know these people say they cleaned it up. I know these people said they fixed everything. But imagine being the people who ate there before they caught those violations, seeing this like a day after. That would make me sick alone, knowing that a place I just ate at ended up on the news for this. So for me, I personally couldn't return. Please let me know in the comment section. If you ate at a restaurant, like one of your favorite restaurants, and found out they got like 70 violations or 7 violations, if you gave them time after, would you return to that restaurant? To me, it's one and done for me, bro. It don't take much for me. If I eat a meal and there's a string of hair in my food when I'm chewing it, that meal is done. That's just how I am. I'm sorry. It is what it is. But let me know how you feel in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Salute, peace. Have a great day.